Hey, 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 it's Mojo Boost time. Welcome back everyone, I'm Cindy Kennedy. And for those of you new to Mojo Boost is a chance for you to stay connected, inspired, and grounded on your path so you can thrive in business and in life. So today I want to talk about celebration, and in particular, celebrating you. Now, so many people think, why bother celebrating? In fact, there's kind of two different spectrums. One is, celebrating, taking time for reflective celebration is going to slow me down, is going to hold me back, or is really a complete waste of time. And that's because the focus is so much on chasing the goals and moving forward and striving and driving. Or people think, why bother celebrating? There's really nothing to really celebrate about. I don't know what to celebrate about myself. And there's a discomfort and unease. And others will say, you know what? Celebrating is like tooting your own horn. And I don't need to go doing that. There's a broad range of celebration. There's either, no, don't look at me because there's really nothing to celebrate. That's the one side. And then there's the other side of, yes, I'm amazing, look at me, and that's very ego-driven. What I'm talking about is in the middle. And truly celebrating you is saying, I'm here. This is me. This is my life. This is what I've learned. This is what I've overcome. This is what I've achieved. It's a very grounded place. So why in the world would you celebrate you? Well, first of all, when you celebrate yourself, you realize how far you've come. And every one of us needs to remember that we're not stuck in the same place. That things aren't the same old. That we have grown, that we have progressed, that we have changed. Because this gives us self-confidence and it gives us momentum, and we need both of those things in order for us to continue to move forward. Secondly, celebrating ourselves offers us milestones. So every time you celebrate, there's a milestone in your life. And these are the milestones that you're going to be called upon. Every time a friend, a colleague, or a family member comes to you for support, and you can draw on these milestones, these stories, for you to offer them as examples of having overcome things, or considering, showing compassion of understanding where they may be at right now. It's these same milestones that you're going to be called upon during an interview, or during spontaneous opportunities where someone asks you what you stand for, who you are, what you've learned. It's so important to have these at the tip of your tongue and just be bursting out of your heart. So you can imagine just a big stew. It's like your life stew. But all the goodies are at the bottom. And it isn't until we start stirring the stew, meaning celebrating ourselves more regularly and more consistently, that all the goodies come up to the top, and you look at your life stew and you think, wow, I did that, I achieved that, I overcame that. Amazing. So the more you stir it, the more they're up front so you can offer it to yourself and to others. Also, it feels good. It feels so good to celebrate. Now, if you really haven't celebrated yourself, at first, it will feel uncomfortable. And it will, in fact, feel quite challenging. You might not even know where to start. But I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more you'll see. The more you'll know what you can celebrate about yourself. So stick with it. And celebration is just like laughter. It is completely infectious, it's contagious, and it only expands. So not only do you get to celebrate you and feel good, but you get to pass that on to others and teach them about celebration. So how can you celebrate? Well, there's no hard or fast rule, but let me just give you a few examples to start you off. You could decide that once a day, maybe just before you go to bed, you just review your day. You review how you felt, how you showed up. and you celebrate one thing about yourself from that day. Or you decide maybe Sunday is a time where you're going to do a reflective celebration of your week. And you're going to challenge yourself to come up with 10 things that you can celebrate yourself, about yourself. Or you can pull in your partner or a best friend or your children. And every time you're together or every day, you go, so what's one thing you could celebrate about yourself right now? And then you get to celebrate them at the same time. Give it a try. Now, if you're wondering, well, what in the world would I celebrate if I've never really done it before? You might just want to celebrate yourself for showing up, or for listening to something like this, a mojo boost, from a woman that maybe you don't know that well, and just being open to hearing something different. Or celebrating yourself for being open to celebrating yourself. Celebrating yourself for having gained 5 pounds and you're still going to go out on that date, or still going to go out socializing. It's not going to hold you back. Celebrate yourself for only drinking 1 cup of coffee today instead of 3. Celebrate this fact that you woke up and took a breath and have decided that you're going to be hopeful that day, if maybe you're in a bit of a harder, darker place. There's many things to celebrate. There's no rules, so be gentle on yourself. And again, celebration is so worthwhile. The world needs us to celebrate. And the beautiful thing is, it all starts with you. So that's today's Mojo Boost. Challenge yourself to celebrate you. And in fact, I'm going to ask you, once this video is done, before you get up and leave your computer or leave your phone, get back into doing what you're doing, take a moment and ask yourself right now, what's one thing, just one thing that I can celebrate about me? And just know that I'm right here celebrating you with you. That's today's Mojo Boost, gang. Can't wait to see you next week. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.